Whether you're JaVale McGee on Shaq and a Fool, whether you're Dwight Howard not earning the Superman mantle, or you are Rudy Gobert coming out and earning $200 million while Shaq pokes fun at him for scoring, 11 points on average and saying that's worth $200 million. Shaq and Gobert have had a thing going for a while. When Rudy cried for not making the All-Star team in 2019, Shaq was all over him. The $200 million contract extension, Shaq was all over him. And then in January of last year, Shaq posted a pic on Instagram, a fake picture obviously, of him dunking on Gobert and saying he would have 45 and 16 with 10 missed free throws. That part's probably true. After just 3 quarters, and Gobert would have 11 and 4. I think he'd have more than 4 personally, and fouled out before the fourth quarter. 4 rebounds. And then obviously Chuck's going to be Chuck and poke the bear and needle him. And he was saying that Gobert would knock his, ball into the next zip code and all that or whatnot. So it got me thinking though about trying to find some way of figuring out what would happen if these two met in their prime. So I went looking for a Gobert lookalike during Shaq's time. So Rudy Gobert is 7'1". He's about 250 pounds. For his career, his averages right now are around 12 points and 12 rebounds, and he's a 3-time Defensive Player of the Year. In Shaq's era, there was a center who was also 7'1", also weighed around 250 pounds. He averaged at the height of his career, if he took his best in the first 10 or so, he was averaging about 12 and 12. And he's a 4-time Defensive Player of the Year. And I'm talking about Dikembe Mutombo, Ryan. So we have actually seen a version of Shaq versus Rudy. I'm not saying they're the exact same player, but Dikembe Mutombo is not a slight on any center, and Rudy Gobert is not lighting you up on the scoreboard. So to me, I think it's a fair comparison to put these two together.
Yeah, and Dikembe Mutombo has 4 Defensive Player of the Year awards, more than anybody except for Ben Wallace, who, spoiler alert, we're going to get to as well. And Shaquille O'Neal in the 2001 NBA Finals against the Philadelphia 76ers, who had Dikembe Mutombo as their starting center. Shaq averaged 33 points, 16 rebounds, and 5 assists, and 3 blocks, and shot 57% from the field. The Lakers famously only winning that series in 5, with the only game that they lost in the entire playoffs to Allen Iverson. But it doesn't matter. Shaq took centers, 4-time Defensive Player of the Year, Dikembe Mutombo, and he just grinded him like in the meat like it was nothing. That's not the only one he did that to. He did that to David Robinson. He did that to Patrick Ewing. Like he even gave Hakeem the business before they ended up, losing the finals. But Shaq is like he was amazing, and there's nothing that Rudy Gobert could do. And in the 2004 finals, Shaq against another 4-time Defensive Player of the Year in Ben Wallace, 27 points, 11 boards, on 63% shooting. So even the best defenders of all time weren't able to stop Shaq. And look, Gobert's great at defense, but he's absolutely not going to be able to do anything with Shaq. And Gobert is a guy that other guys have trash talked. I know Ben Simmons in a game without Joel Embiid maybe 2 years ago. Feels like the last time that he played basketball. I think he ended up scoring like 42 points or something. And they asked him about it in the interview. But do you think you should be Defensive Player of the Year, or do you think Gobert should be? He's when we went against each other, like I scored 42 and I'm not even the score.
Man on a mission, I'ma get it. You know I be on a what?